A Native American is a person who is indigenous to North, Central, and South America, including the Caribbean islands and Greenland. These are the original peoples of the Americas, those whose ancestors inhabited these lands long before European colonization and the transatlantic slave trade.
In Canada, we are referred to as First Nations, Inuit, or Métis, collectively known as Aboriginal Canadians or Indigenous peoples. In Canada, each group has distinct languages, cultures, and histories that have endured despite centuries of colonial pressure.
In the United States, we are commonly known as American Indians, Native Americans, or simply Indians.
These terms are often used interchangeably, although many individuals prefer to identify by their specific tribal nation.
In Mexico, we are called indígenas, which means indigenous people.
We are also called pueblos originarios, which means original peoples.
And sometimes indios, although the latter can carry colonial or pejorative connotations depending on context.
Throughout Central America, similar terms are used, indígenas being the most widespread.
Countries such as Guatemala, Honduras, and Panama recognize multiple indigenous nations.
Like the Quiche, Garifuna, Lenca, and Guna, each with their own ancestral territories, spiritual systems, and social structures.
In South America, indigenous peoples are known by many names, depending on the region.
In the Andes, terms like Quechua and Aymara refer to specific ethnic groups with ancient empires and traditions. In the Amazon, names like Yanomami, Shuar, and Ashaninka represent forest-based nations whose ways of life remain closely tied to nature.
On the Caribbean islands, indigenous populations such as the Taino, Arawak, and Carib were among the first to encounter European colonizers. Colonization devastated many of these communities. Descendants still exist in places like Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, preserving traditions and reasserting their identity.
Despite being spread across 2 continents and countless ecosystems, Native Americans share common experiences.
Colonial invasion, forced assimilation, land dispossession, resistance, resilience, and cultural survival. And yet, a dangerous myth persists that indigenous people are no longer here, or that everyone is now mixed beyond recognition. This narrative is not only false, but harmful. It erases the continued existence of pure and sovereign indigenous communities across the Americas.
From the Tarahumara highlands of Mexico to the Quechua villages of the Andes.
From the untouched forests of the Amazon to the remote Dene and Inuit lands of the north.
There are countless indigenous nations living with their languages, customs, and bloodlines intact.
Many of these communities live in isolation by choice, resisting assimilation, and maintaining deep spiritual and ecological relationships with their ancestral territories.
In countries like Bolivia, Guatemala, and Peru, millions of indigenous people speak their native languages as a first tongue.
Entire municipalities and regions are governed by indigenous customs and laws.
To say everyone is mixed is to ignore the very real presence of people who have preserved their heritage.
We are not extinct.
We are not relics. We are not myths or symbols in a textbook. We are nations. We are languages. We are ceremonies. We are families. We are protectors of the land. We are survivors. We are the first and the forever people of the Americas. To be Native American is not only to descend from the first inhabitants of this continent, it is to live in defiance of erasure. It is to carry the flame of memory forward, knowing that we are the living continuation of our ancestors.